Hello there. It is Saturday, June 14th. Gonna do another reading this morning. I was getting ready and for the day. No Kings protest today coming to a city near you. The Hoodoo Tarot wanted to speak. So, what do our ancestors have to tell us? What wisdom, what insights, our ancestors went through a lot. They changed the world through protest to peaceful protest without property destruction. And there is a difference. Property destruction is not violence. It's simply property destruction. Violence is upon people, and the violence is coming from ICE, from the people on that side. It's not coming. Most of the protesters are peaceful. You always have your bad actors, and you get away from them, right? Stay away from those if you participate today. But let's get in. Let's see what our ancestors have today to say about today. See what they're going to tell us about today. The overall energy message. Whoa. What falls to the floor comes to the door. And look at this. The 9 of Coins. You are so protected. Look at that. She's wearing her evil eye dress with her cat on her lap. What's she smoking on? I hope it's not tobacco, you all. Do you partake in a little smoke cleansing in the morning? I do. Wink, wink. She's doing her spiritual reading. Look, maybe it's in the afternoon and she's having a break. Look, as she's having a cocktail. 18 and over, be responsible. It's okay to, consume moderately. That white cat, but she is protected. The 9 of Coins. Let's see what it says in here. Make sure that you are wearing some type of protective jewelry, right? Like, I just have on a simple, I'll take my watch off, but just this simple bracelet here, just wear some kind of whatever you have, or like this angel necklace, right? Those are 2 pieces I'm wearing today that are going to be my protective jewelry. Everything else will stay home. This is always on, and it just says love. All right, the 9 of Coins. So the woman lounges at home with all the trappings of luxury and refinement. The woman knows you're probably jealous of her, so she dons a dress with a pattern that protects her from the evil eye. This came up this morning. There's a group or a person or a group of people that are jealous of you. In case that doesn't work, she has a Sarracenia plant nearby, which is said to protect its owner from negative energy. My money tree died, y'all. I killed it. It's a golden seal is the plant. Okay, so the positive meaning, self-reliance, well-deserved success, prosperity as a result of hard work. This is what your ancestors are telling you about today. Okay? So far they're telling you you have someone that's jealous of you. Stay protected. You are self-reliant. You're going to have well-deserved success and prosperity as a result of hard work. It's about self-employed people, property owners, inheritance, material gain, creature comforts, upscale lifestyle, leisure time spent alone, luxury, discipline, avoiding the bad part of town, enjoyment of the finer things in life. People society consider classy and taking the time to relax and unwind. Moving on up to the east side, to the deluxe apartment in the sky. I'm moving next month. I do believe. And anyway, you're moving up. But stay protected, especially because you are moving up. You have somebody jealous of you. So, and also that it's your hard work that's paying off, right? You're being rewarded for your hard work, being recognized. I see you. Any warnings about today? Whoa. Ancestors. Wow. I said, is there any warnings about today? And the ancestor card flew out. That gave me chills. Shit. What does it say? This is the 13th card. Let's see. Ooh. Oh. Lord, the warning is the death card. The eye that mocketh his father and despiseth to obey his mother. The ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. Proverbs 30:17. How heinous. It's in the Bible. Plant is a flower of stone. Excuse me so much. A happy baby is lying in a crib. Though her form is young, there is a part of her that is very old. The half of her face that is skeletal reflects this eternal connection with ancestors. Your ancestors are with you today. Ancestor veneration is one of the least discussed but most ubiquitous features of human life since immemorial. Though the aesthetics of the ancestral veneration may vary depending on the culture, there are few people who'll feel comfortable with their dead just being dead. Instead, humans have created hundreds of other dimensions for their souls to inhabit, where they may or may not be accessible to the living. In hoodoo, we may have access to any spirit of the dead. If the deceased is willing, and we are skilled enough to make and maintain the contact. Call in your ancestors. They're waiting for you. It is quite common in both indigenous American and African cultures to consult the ancestors via various methods of divination, channeling, or meditation for those in the community who had the skill and authority to do so. The death of family members was no excuse to begin excluding them from the affairs of the nation, rites, or rituals, nor from accepting their input regarding the major life decisions of their living relations. In the traditional mind, neither time nor space could separate us from our kin. I do believe that. It's just making me emotional. Ancestral veneration, however, is much deeper than lighting candles. Yes, it is. Attending special events or asking questions now and then. And ancestral veneration is its most traditional sense, is supposed to inform our behavior on a daily and continual basis. It's about knowing and honoring and defending one's bloodline. It's about personifying the most extreme values of your foremothers and forefathers and doing one's best to add on positively to your family's legacy. It's about reflecting on and identifying how our parents and grandparents' actions affected our lives and considering how our decisions could affect our great grandchildren tomorrow. Death is not a subject most Westerners or Western educated people like to discuss. It's an event that will happen to each and every one of us, yet is considered morbid, weird, or taboo to spend any time contemplating it. It cannot be spring, summer, or fall forever. Eventually, the end must come to make way for something new. Death is just the beginning of something. So when the ancestor card turns up in a reading, you are being reminded that the only thing that is truly permanent is impermanence. Our ancestors are just telling us, aren't they? It's okay to be sad. It's okay to mourn, but you must let go. Life goes on. If you receive the ancestors in a reading, consider the following. Every end is also a new beginning. The only thing that is constant is change. Put the past behind you and start over. Learn how to embrace the unknown. Do you know who your ancestors are? You know, they are, excuse me for the tears. No, I don't apologize for that. That comes from... So, anyway. Yes, I was touched by that. You know, advice from our ancestors. We get the ancestor card, and they really told us, didn't they? Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where should we focus today? Aunt Caroline. Let's hear the story of Aunt Caroline. She was this is the Wheel of Fortune. This is where our focus should be. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Aunt Caroline is standing in the doorway of her home at Newport, surrounded by reporters. She was born into slavery in South Carolina before being relocated along with her parents to Arkansas. After being freed in 1865, she married and began her work as a cartomancer. Playing cards were her specialty. Aunt Caroline had been aware of her psychic gifts as a child, and she quickly earned a reputation as effective and reliable counselor. Her clients were racially diverse, and it is not uncommon to see entire trains of people embarking in Newport to see her services. Aunt Caroline was industrious, too. She sold meals to the crowds who waited for her. She invested in land and property with the money she earned. There is also a legend she buried a cache of gold somewhere in the area. After her death, many people tried to find the treasure, but were unsuccessful. Aunt Caroline's skill and amazing rags to riches story are two reasons why she became a legend. This is where your ancestors are telling you to focus. When Aunt Caroline appears in a reading, it is an indication that fate is a factor regarding whatever you are inquiring about. Rack your brain about what you or someone else could have done differently if you're like, but the truth is everything turned out exactly how it is supposed to. That's hard to take sometimes, isn't it? This can be a very hard pill to swallow in an age where people want to believe their thoughts or choices always dictate the outcome. The existence of a greater plan is not welcome. is not a welcome concept today because it implies vulnerability, which is automatically translated into weakness in the minds of many. We are used to images of people casually walking in slow motion from explosions or crashing through windows without a scratch, when we want to be indestructible, unflappable people too. But this is not the movies. We know in real life that those characters most likely would have died in that raging inferno. The window crasher would have been blinded or cut to ribbons. The audience likes that these things didn't occur. They like the implication that I didn't even realize the device cut off while I was speaking, but I'm going to finish Aunt Caroline. The audience likes that these things didn't occur. They like the implication that the characters escaped or were cooler than what fate had planned for them. Aunt Caroline teaches us that this way of thinking is a fantasy. No one can escape their fate. And incidents are no accidents. She also teaches us to expect the unexpected. This card may also be trying to tell you to understand why things are happening or why they turned out the way they did. You must consider the big picture. And I like I said, I didn't know the camera cut off, but I shuffled and asked, where should we focus? And the Father of Knives came out, or what should we do? I'm sorry. This is what should we do. The Father of Knives is standing outside a circle of cornmeal with a knife stuck in the center. There are broken timepieces in the circle with his big hands pointing to the numerical value of a person's name. Their time annoying him is now up. The Father of Knives is the quintessential dominant male. On the positive side, he is assertive, intellectual, ethical, analytical, mature, and a just leader. On the negative side, he is cruel, opinionated, vicious, abusive, stoic, tyrannical, and stubborn. In a reading, if he doesn't represent a literal person with these qualities, then he represents these attributes. And when it's saying, what should you do? You need to embrace these attributes, the positive ones. Be assertive, intellectual, ethical, analytical, mature, and a just leader. That's what your ancestors are calling you to do. Yeah. Peaceful, right? Just. And I love it. Their time if somebody's annoying you, it's over. Their time's up annoying you. So that's good to know. All right. Any last message from our ancestors? Last message. The last message from the ancestors. It's a dog taking a pee on someone's grave. Someone's got 3 knives in them underneath the tree. The wounded person lies against a bottle tree with broken bottles as a stray dog urinates on their loved one's grave. Triple ouch. The southern tradition of creating bottle trees is an Africanism from the Congo, people who believe that spirits could reside in those bottles. The idea was to capture any negative spirits and allow the sunlight to destroy them at dawn. The crepe myrtle tree grows throughout the South and was considered sacred by many root workers because it represents rejuvenation and God's promise to the faithful. This property that I live on right now is surrounded by crepe myrtles. It's about pain subsiding, a resurrection, people who are determined to survive. This is a message straight from your ancestors. It's about renewed optimism, reconciliation, seeking help for any emotional problems, learning how to cope, accepting an apology only when you're ready, improved health, overcoming depression, healing, and the worst of it is over. Your ancestors have your back. They do. They are with us today. Please be safe. Be peaceful today. This is Stevie's Tarot. If you found messages, please like, share, and subscribe. Have the most blessed day.